What's going on, everybody? This is The Hype, episode 222. Doug is out this week. It's Cody, it's C-Rad, it's Dan. We are going to be talking about new release this week. Mosaic football has dropped. Maybe you've already ripped it on Mojobreak.com, but we're going to be breaking it all weekend long. We'll be talking about that. Plus, we wrap up our best of 2021. We have picked the winners and also some more dubious awards as well. The worst autographs and the most disappointing products of the year. We'll talk about that. NFL playoffs, NBA midseason, buy, sell, or hold. John Morant is on fire. We got to talk about that, even if he did break our hearts last night as Warriors fans. Guys, what's going on? How are we doing today?
Guess Jaw's the guy now, huh?
He's the guy.
Over Zion. Zion who?
It's, Zion who? The man is blasting on a milk carton.
Poor Zion.
Yeah.
You know what? I was texting my some people last night too. I was like, dude, like the Grizzlies kind of have the Warriors number. I think they're gonna be our toughest competition in the West playoffs this year.
I mean, remember last year that was the team that knocked them out.
Yeah, granted, like not 100%.
Yeah.
But they have been the team that gave us the most issues, especially Ja obviously becoming a superstar right before our very eyes. And then I'm not worried about any West team, not the Nuggets, not the Suns, not the Jazz. I'm worried about the freaking Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs.
The Grizzlies and the Hornets.
Yeah, Hornets.
The Hornets are tough.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the Warriors matching up against the Hornets.
But we won't have to see them, right?
No,
we don't have to worry about them at all.
Unless they're in the
Unless
finals,
they make it to the finals, yeah.
That'd be a little ridiculous if it's a Warriors Hornets finals.
Imagine that LaMelo Ball getting to the freaking finals his second year.
The NBA would, you know what? Never in a million years. If you had told me 15 years ago, the NBA is going to love a Hornets Warriors finals matchup. But like, what are you on?
Yeah,
now? Because that
does sound ridiculous.
Statement. But it is. They would love that. That would be amazing. Steph coming back, LaMelo in the finals. But that's a long time from now. But we'll talk about it.
It'd be a pretty big storyline with Dale Curry.
Pretty big.
It would be pretty much the whole thing leading up to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. If they had that week of like Super Bowl hype, would be the warring families, the Currys versus the Balls, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The NBA's version of like the Montagues and Capulets, maybe. I don't know.
Oof. Yeah, we don't.
Throw a Shakespeare reference.
I'm over football, man.
What you guys
Let's just talk basketball. Yeah.
Can we talk basketball and talk basketball and maybe hockey and I don't want to talk about football.
Now hold on. I was going to say this is kind of a momentous occasion. I've only been here for a while, but I got to imagine this is the first time that all three teams represented on the Hype, Raiders, Rams, and Niners, are all in the playoffs at the same time.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. The Raiders are never there, so it's the first time we're there.
Right.
Actually, I can't recall the last time the Niners and the Rams were in the playoffs together.
You might have to talk.
Do we have to go
Kurt Warner era?
I don't recall the Niners ever making it to the playoffs in that era.
The
but
year that they beat the Giants in the wild card game,
I don't think the Rams were not in it. I actually think, and I'm going to break it down for you. I think you got to go back to 1989.
Wow.
And that was when the Rams and Niners were in the playoffs together and played each other in an NFC Championship game. It was the famous Jim Rome, Jim Everett, Chris Everett. That's why when he went on the show, he was like, you stopped becoming Jim and you became Chris, because at one point the Niners were pressuring him so much he would just go back to pass and just take a knee. He would just duck. And he got sacked 6 times, and he just basically gave up. The Niners won by 40.
That is wow.
So
that is some Rams history there for you.
I don't think so. I think 1989. The Niners got their work cut out for them. Who knows what Cowboys team they get? Did they get the Cowboys that just put up 55 points against the Eagles, or did they play the Cardinals that beat them pretty handedly? So.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be either way. I really do not know what to expect from that game. I feel like Niner fans feel a different way than NFL pundits, because I think a lot of the voices around the NFL are like, Niners are the most dangerous team. Look out. You don't want to face the Niners. Whereas Niner fans are like, man, I don't know what to expect from this team. They're very Jekyll and Hyde in the way that the Cowboys are.
I don't know, man. I was at the game, and there was a lot of Niner fans there, and they were chirping like they were the number 1 seed and the surefire guaranteed Super Bowl victory.
Now, now there is there are two types of Niner fans. There are those who
The
are like
absolute delusional Niner fans.
Exactly,
like
exactly.
the guys
God bless 'em.
Are the fans who basically go, hey, like the Niners are playing a team this week. What do you think they're going to win by? I don't know, like 83-3. Like there's those Niner fans.
And then there's the ones when I'm watching the game and I'm like on Twitter seeing reaction that are doom and gloom. This team stinks. We're playing way over our heads. And yeah, so everything evens out.
I want to hang out with them. I get all of
Just
the
watch
I
a
get
game with me on
I get the other fan base. It's like, oh, you guys are up 17-0 at half. We're gonna come back and win by 60, no doubt. Like we're just gonna come. We got this game. Got them right where we want you. Down 17.
I was sure that the season was over the moment that Jimmy threw that pass that was like went -3 yards and his half broken thumb more than broke. You know, that was when I was like, this is over. This is over.
They at halftime, I was like, cool. I'm like, well, Niner fans. I'm like, at least you're gonna see Trey Lance in the third quarter.
Yeah.
There's no way they can trot out Jimmy Garoppolo. He looked terrible. Now, I don't know what the Rams did. I think McVay running out and celebrating with Tyler Higbee after the second touchdown really, really, really lit a fire under the Niners on their sideline. I think they we're not going to have a coach show us up like that because they completely changed. They went, Debo Samuel's like throwing the touchdown, it was insane.
How you feeling about the
team.
How you feeling about the Raiders, C-Rad? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was just gonna say at the beginning of the segment, I was gonna say this week for Bay Area fans in general. I know you're a Rams fan, Dan, but Niner fans, Raider fans, and of course all of us who are Warrior fans. I felt like it was a very special week, right? Just the storylines of Clay coming back obviously was the biggest thing. I remember I was watching that game on Sunday. I was like getting so emotional. Obviously I could imagine what it was like to be there. And then at the same time, our Raiders actually pulling it off and beating the Chargers to get into the playoffs, right? Which was another crazy game, crazy ending to that game. So, and then obviously for your Niner fans, you guys needed that win, especially because the Saints won their game too, so you had no kind of outs. It was just I was gonna say it was just a special week for Bay Area sports fans.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to add is that as you think about, for me personally as a Raider fan, like what that team went through all season long, and then for us to even be in a position to get in the playoffs is kind of like still crazy to me that we're actually in the playoffs, and I'm finally gonna get to see Derek Carr play his first playoff game.
Yeah, that's the big one for me is like that year where Carr, if he'd stayed healthy, I think probably
he got injured right before the playoffs.
He got right before the playoffs. I thought he was MVP worthy that year. He's incredible that year. So it's nice to see him finally get back to that point and have a chance against a tough Bengals team. That's one of the most interesting games, I think, of the entire week.
You like in terms of like you guys are not sure about how your guys' game is gonna go. I'm actually very confident that the Raiders can pull it off.
I think they can. I definitely think they can. As great as Joe Burrow has been lately, that's another team that a lot of inexperience.
And I agree. If I'm a Raider fan, I am looking forward to the fact that you guys actually got the Bengals.
Yeah.
And
if we got the Chiefs, it would have been different.
I feel the same way about the Rams. I'm like, I'm stoked. Silver lining of losing that game is that I actually rather play the Cardinals than have to play the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
the way they're going right now.
Kyler has not looked good since he came back.
Yeah. And they still won't have D-Hop, right?
And they're not going to – I don't think they're going to have D-Hop.
I don't think Watt either.
I thought Watt was going to come back.
Okay. Well, that'll help, but, yeah, they need D-Hop.
And the Rams signed Eric Weddle today.
They signed Eric Weddle. We're back, baby.
Wow.
Strange times.
But, yeah, this is going to be one of the best weeks of football. You got the extra game. You have a Monday night game.
Yeah.
You got, 2 Saturdays? Two
Saturday, 2 Sunday.
And a Monday.
A packed weekend. We've never seen it before.
Well, no, that's not right because there's supposed to be 6 games this weekend, right? That's two.
Oh, wait.
Maybe 3?
3, yeah.
3 on Sunday.
3, I think, on Sunday.
So 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday.
Yeah. Math.
Niners got the Nickelodeon game.
Yes.
Woo! Cool. And
SpongeBob on the sidelines.
And the
Let's
Niners
go.
get to renew that rivalry from the Cowboys like that.
I apologize for making anyone watching or listening to this feel old. I looked it up because I think I saw Kyle Shanahan say like, "Oh, the Niner-Cowboy rivalry doesn't mean anything to anyone in that locker room." And I was even thinking about it, and I was like, "When's the last time they played in the playoffs?" I was 3 the last time they played in the playoffs.
Nice.
I'm a month away from 32.
90. What, 97?
93.
93?
No, 94. I'm sorry.
Oh.
93, 94. No, 93. No, it was 2. Jeez. 2 going on 3.
Wow.
I should say.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
And there had to be a stretch there where they actually met every year. I mean, I would say probably through like 91, 92, 93, and 94.
Their
they probably,
Super Bowl eras clash.
Then you also had that era with the Niners in Green Bay. It seemed like they played each other every year.
That one is the one I am almost more familiar with because that was me, like late 90s, 2000s is when those teams met up all the time.
The catch 2 with T.O.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to talk a lot about the football players to watch for Super Wildcard Weekend. And let's start by talking football. And Mosaic football is out. A bunch of new releases are still coming out. The calendar for the 2021 football collecting season is still packed. What are you guys' thoughts, Mosaic football? New additions this year. I think the big new addition, the die-cut busts of the Hall of Famers, I think is a really cool addition to it. I don't know how rare they are in each one. It looked like they were pretty rare, pretty hard to pull.
Looks like a nightmare to put on top loader.
I was going to say.
At least it's flat on the bottom.
They're cool.
Yeah, dude, imagine if it wasn't.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
they are really cool, but you're right. Those are, at least it's flat on the bottom. So
I think Panini has learned at this point that they do it sometimes still. Don't get me wrong, but they have tried to stay away from making a die cut that's not flat on the bottom because, oh God, when they're not flat on the bottom, for everybody involved, it sucks getting them protected and making like if you want to. Let alone think about grading these die cuts. You know what I mean?
It's even tough because they will shift in the pack as well.
Yep.
So not only in the pack they're shifting, but you try to get them into a sleeve, you try to get them in a top loader. Super tricky. But I think Mosaic, I mean, top 10 product that comes out.
And
top 10 anticipated
timing.
product.
Great timing with, I know the obviously the dates are all shifted right now, but could not ask for better timing for Mosaic football to come out this week.
It's like
a
Prism.
huge weekend.
It's like Prism Light.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
And you know what's interesting? Now that you brought up Prism, this year, I don't know if you've seen the schedule, but it actually comes out like a month or 2 after Contenders.
Yeah,
Prism.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know what you
saw
think
that.
about that strategy shift. I it's kind of like what we always talk about on the show, how like the new guard, old guard.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like people prefer the base products. Like now they're saying, okay, this is gonna be after Contenders.
And usually you would do Contenders later because there is so much autograph content that you need to acquire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tougher product to put out than said Prism just getting the inventory back. Maybe they look at it and they're like, going to be a bigger print run this year with Prism. It's going to take longer to produce that. So let's push that out and let's get Contenders. And Contenders, I mean, used to be back in the day.
It'd be out right now.
I think at one point it was 3 on-card autos and it went to 2 on-card autos. Now it's 1 on-card auto. So.
And it would normally be out right now in like January. Like we'd already be ripping Contenders right now.
I mean, I feel like we're late enough in the season where I feel like we'd be 20 releases almost like near the third quarter of the way through the releases, but we're like
halfway, maybe
we're a quarter, maybe a little bit over a quarter, a third of the way through.
There's a ton of huge stuff still on the schedule.
Yeah. And Mosaic was actually a new product for football last year. Ultra popular. Came out during the penny, and I haven't opened it yet today, but I'm assuming it's gonna still be popular this year.
Greg opened it up, said it was good. He said his case was heavy with base autos. Is the only thing he said, but he did pull like a Mac Jones rookie auto.
Nice.
So
yeah,
looking forward to it. And I don't know if we talked about Illusions last week, but Illusions, they changed the configuration a little bit of that.
No encased card.
Encased card.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Change that up.
And I've ripped a lot of Illusions since it was released, and I think it's a really good product especially for the price point. I think it's a really good product.
Totally agree. I was
5 hits still though.
I was kind of bummed about not having the encased in there, but I think they do make up for it with a lot of variation, a lot of numbered cards.
Yep.
And you're getting, like, I feel like every box I've opened, you're getting at least something good from 3 of the 5-6 quarterbacks you'd want right now.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I agree. I think for the price point there, it's going to be crazy to see what contenders. I mean, Mosaic is kind of the beginning of, like, the Mac Jones chase. I think is just only going to heat up as we go along. I guess we'll see this weekend, depending on how he fares against the Bills.
Well, man, I'm so happy Trevor Lawrence had that great game against the Colts.
He did, and I'm glad you brought that up because there's nothing better than a rookie quarterback closing out a season on a high point. It'll carry the momentum into the offseason, and you'll have a strong speculation going into next year.
Yeah.
Because the last memory of him playing was a good memory.
And it wasn't they weren't Colts are not a bad team either.
No,
so.
I mean, the Colts, a lot of the NFL insiders were like, the Colts are the team you don't want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They could run the ball, and they got a good defense. And they just they had one job. They had one job.
And they got beat by Balky's Jags.
I mean, that's the definition of a choke, right? It's like sometimes when you're supposed to win so easily, like you just blow it, man.
I mean, and they win. I mean, they win, and the Steelers don't make it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Then it would have been officially a win and in for Raiders Chargers.
Yeah, they would have had to win.
Not
for
this
sure.
weird time, like Chargers calling a timeout inexplicably.
I mean,
never will get that.
Now, I respect both the Raiders and the Chargers for going out there and trying to win the game. I mean, let's face it, game started, they could have just sat there and kneeled down for 4 quarters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they both go to the playoffs. It was good to see them actually go out and try to win the game. So,
see, there was a moment where I went, nah, they're both putting on they're like, hey, let's put on a good show. And then, you know what? It's going to, because a 0-0 tie makes it a little too obvious what's going on. But a 31-31 tie, hey, you put on a hell of a show for everybody.
How difficult is it to have a 31-31
yes.
tie?
Yeah,
you got it. And especially some of those throws Justin Herbert was making.
Yeah, Herbert was trying to go for it at the very end. You could tell. Like,
can we officially say, and I know Burrow's going to get more of the headlines now among that 2020 class and in the hobby over the next week or so, but I feel like Herbert, that game to me just showed, oh yeah, this is the guy for the next 5 years. I'm team Burrow. Yeah. To me, that confirmed it for me. I'm team Herbert all the way. This guy's the real deal. This guy's legit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, we're it's going to be an exciting playoff run. I don't know. I mean, if you were to put your money on who would represent the NFC right off the top of your dome right now, take your homer hat off for a second, who do you think would be NFC, and then just throw out the AFC?
I guess I'm gonna say I was gonna say Packers, but no, it's gonna be the Bucks because I'm not gonna bet against Tom Brady.
Hard to bet against Tom Brady.
I'm just not going to do that. AFC again, it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. Although the Chiefs, I feel like have
been exposed this year.
Been exposed
defensively.
a little bit. If Derrick Henry can turn it on, the Titans should be there. But I'm still going to go with the Chiefs because I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes. So Chiefs, Bucks, that's boring, but that's what I feel like.
I get it.
Yeah.
What about you, C-Rad?
Packers easily for me is my pick out the NFC.
They're the most talented.
And the East, if I'm not wearing my homer hat. If I'm not wearing my homer hat, yeah, I guess Chiefs, bro.
Chiefs, Packers.
So, same thing. My thing is that if you're going to make it to the Super Bowl in the NFC, you're going to have to go through Green Bay. Tough place to play.
Yeah.
You've been there.
I've been there.
Brady did it last year.
I think Green Bay represents the NFC. I think the Rams lose to Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
Second round.
In the
championship game.
Yeah. And then I think KC turns it on, runs the board, and I think I don't know who wins. I think it'll be a great game, but I go with C-Rad. I think it's going to be Green Bay KC.
Yeah. I think
hard to bet. Hard to bet against Tom Brady, but if I had to say there was going to be a huge upset this week, the Eagles knocking off Tampa Bay.
That'd be something.
Yeah, and as much as we so used to seeing Tom Brady on the podium every single year, or at least getting to the game every single year, there are years that he doesn't make it. Right? There's years he doesn't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen one.
No, come on now.
I don't think
crazy.
That can't be a thing, right?
Well, Mosaic football, we are breaking it all weekend long. If you guys want some of that action, go over to mojobreak.com. Check out the breaks. Mosaic football all weekend. Let's move on. Our next topic. We teased it at the beginning. It's time to wrap things up. Our awards for 2021. We're 2 weeks into 2022, so let's hand out some hardware. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see our winners for the best products of 2021. For football, I think it was pretty obvious when we were talking about it. National Treasures football, a kind of a landmark year with the 2020 QB class. Even more so now that Burrow has gone off, but Justin Herbert was a huge chase all year. Yep. Bowman Chrome baseball, we decided to go with that one. A lot of chases, kind of made up for one of the products we're going to talk about as one of our more disappointing products, another Chrome baseball product with some huge chases in there as well and consumer friendly. And then we had a tie for basketball. We had Prism basketball and 1-in-1 Panini 1-in-1 basketball. What do you guys think? Anything we're leaving off the table here that's worthy of recognition for our best of 2021?
I personally would replace 1-in-1, and I know it's a lot of people's favorite product. I would replace 1-in-1 with NT basketball. Mm-hmm. That'd be the only thing. Bowman Chrome makes complete sense to me as the best product of 2021, and I'll say this: the reason why is because 2021 baseball in general, primarily because of the rookie class, a lot of the products weren't great. Bowman Chrome was the first baseball product I can recall, and it's not just. I don't think it's just because recent biasy, but it was one of the fastest selling baseball products I noticed on the site this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good checklist, good value, but there's nothing about the product that really jumped out at me. Like, what was different about Bowman Chrome this year than any other year?
Right.
Besides the prospects.
Besides the checklist, yeah. Right? They didn't really do much. Maybe added a color here or there, or some kind of shimmer refractor of some sort. But like, Diamond Icons. Like, I love that product. Thought it was really good. Great checklist. Every case like yielded a top star usually. So the one that I would replace out of there would be Bowman Chrome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I kind of tend to agree. Bowman Chrome. It's tried and true. It's peanut butter and jelly. You can't go wrong with it. I think that's why people like it, and when it's got a couple of big names, that people are going to gravitate towards it as well. I tend to agree too. I like the 1-in-1 C-Rad. I like it a lot, but NT basketball again, sort of in the same way that NT football was such a big release this year with big rookies. Incredibly exciting to rip every single time. But at the same time, you could pick NT for almost all of these sports. And it's just like I think just overall the best product.
1-in-1, my main gripe with that, it has nothing to do. The secondary market pushed it up so high that like it's a super high risk rip. Yeah. I mean, you can get a substantially dud box. I mean, you can do that with any product, but when the product is secondary market's going for $15, $18, $2,000, that's it for 2 cards.
For 2 cards. You know what? One thing I will note about Bowman Chrome too, real quick. So Bowman Chrome, it is like tried and true, and it's it's a staple baseball product. But Bowman Chrome isn't really the one that people gravitate towards yearly, right? So it had to have been something about this checklist or these prospects.
Well, I mean, maybe the fact that it was hitter heavy.
Yep.
The checklist had a lot of hitters in it, and you have the uncertainty with not having the traditional minor leagues like the last year or two.
Yeah.
More loaded than ever.
Yeah.
Because
so
of that, right?
yeah,
Or like a backlog of players.
Exactly. So backlog of players who got put into it. Generally, the Bowman Chrome, you are chasing more the international prospect. Where Bowman Draft, you're usually chasing the, top 10, first round, all those guys, and then like they'll hold out a handful of players for the following year with Bowman Flagship.
Right. Do you think it's also partly because people realize now how great that 2016 Bowman Chrome?
That's exactly what it is.
And because it was a few years of there was some good guys that people were
Bowman Chrome for years and years and years was like the afterthought when it came to any type of prospect product. You would be like, Bowman Chrome, whatever. We would get allocated like 50 cases.
People would get into it, but it wasn't like it never went up in price.
You would have like those diehard baseball prospect collectors who are like, I'm doing this and I'm going to hold onto this card for, 4 or 5 years and see if I, any one of these players like make it.
Yeah. I think that you hit up the nail right on the head, C-Rad, that just think about right now. If you name who are the 5 guys in baseball you'd want to collect? Like Trout, obviously, but then it's like Ohtani, Tatis, Guerrero, Soto. 4 of those guys I just mentioned are international players.
Yep.
3 of them would have been in Chrome. And then Acuna as well. All the biggest guys that now I think people are starting to get hit to it, they're going to come from Bowman Chrome. So I think that's part of it. The backlog of guys, things are changing. People are getting more educated about it. So, and you had a lot of hitters, specifically the guy you see on the screen, Luis Rodriguez, a Dodger on top of it. So people are going to want to chase him.
Another guy was a Cub. And then because I remember 2020 Bowman Chrome was, it wasn't great. And it was during the Pandy year, which everything was hot. Yeah. But 2020 Bowman Chrome, people didn't really care about. Now that could be because of the prospect list, the checklist. But yeah, it's such a huge jump I noticed from 2020 to 2021, particularly with that
2020
product.
For prospects really tough. No minor league.
Right, no minor league, and I want to say the international signing period was delayed.
Yeah,
which is why you're getting almost double the guys in Chrome.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this is I think it was just an exceptional year. You're not going to see this probably ever again out of Bowman Chrome. God forbid. But yeah, I think that's just it. Just kind of was the perfect storm in a lot of ways for that product. Any products that are outside of these sports that you guys feel like are worthy of consideration as well for best of the year? We talked about the 3 here, but there's hockey, obviously, that I think Upper Deck always does a great job. I was going to say UFC is one to me.
Prism UFC could definitely go up there.
Or I'll even throw out Formula One, I think.
Formula One for sure.
Huge this year.
And I would say, and I don't know much about it, but I am just going based on people just ripping boxes and flipping the individual cards on eBay or ComC or whatever. The new AEW product by Upper Deck. Relatively inexpensive product. People are like flipping the individual cards and like making 3 times the amount of money that they're purchasing the box for.
That's good to hear. Somebody opened some too.
There you go.
So, but I don't know who you're I know. I don't.
Sting, and CM Punk. CM Punk.
CM Punk. Yeah.
I've heard of him.
Might have heard of him
from Shane.
He got beat up a little bit a few times in UFC.
But yeah, I think those, and there was some soccer products that came out as well.
Good soccer products last year for sure.
Immaculate Soccer was really good.
Yeah.
I thought Stadium Club Chrome Soccer was really nice. That was a really nice soccer product last year. But I think the one that stands out, if you're talking about non-traditional sports, for sure, UFC Prism. Those boxes went up like crazy.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the fact it is the first Prism. So I'm anticipating the first WWE Prism to be hot.
Yeah,
too.
we got very little allocated to us when it. We were lucky to get like a handful of boxes at one point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think overall that Panini did a great job with the UFC brand. I feel like all of those products were hot. Everything that had the UFC name on it was super hot this year,
and they were all pretty good. I've opened up a significant amount of UFC stuff. They're all really good.
Yeah. I don't know if we needed the hybrid version of every product that came out though.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know if we need it because I mean
I don't know if we need the retail ones either.
Yeah, we had for Prism in general. We had you had the H2, you had the retail, Select. I think we had also the H2. I don't think they had retail Select.
No.
I think we could have gone without that.
And you could see the huge price difference between the retail and the hobby boxes.
Yeah, Select, the shop is selling them for I think $180 or $190.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting to see the way that Panini handled the UFC license versus the way Topps handled the F1 license. Definitely a less is more approach, I think, for the F1 stuff. And I think it paid off big time. I think that's why there was that sort of hype around. It's there's just Chrome, there's Sapphire, there's a few other things. Sapphire F1 was
I think
wild.
that might have been
big.
Let's go into this category unsure of how it's going to perform.
Yeah.
So less is more.
Until this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's changing.
I think you'll see a lot of recycled brands being pushed into those categories that performed well. I mean, I think with the F1 for sure. I think
it's gonna blow up.
I think F1 we're gonna see a lot.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll change gears. I was gonna have a different giveaway, but I like this one. Let's do this for the giveaway this week. What was your favorite non-traditional sports product of the year? Was it F1? Was it UFC? Was it wrestling? Let us know in the comments. One lucky winner will win $150 in break credit. If you guys are listening to us, go over to Mojobreak Media on YouTube, subscribe to us, and comment. Let us know which one was your favorite for 2021. Okay, enough praise.
Oh, come on, man.
Let's wait. What did I miss here?
We're jumping ahead. We know what's coming next.
All right.
I come in here and I just.
Oh my God.
I break hearts, man. I break hearts.
The most disappointing products of 2021. C-Rad's not happy about one of the inclusions on here, it looks like. But this was Dan's pick. All three our three picks, basically. Each of us had a pick. Well, I threw this one in for you, C-Rad, because Dan was like, C-Rad always hates Mosaic baseball.
Yes.
And I was correct. So let's let everyone vent and talk about, we've got Mosaic baseball on here. Topps Chrome baseball, which again might be a little unfair. We didn't want to call it the worst product, just disappointing. And then Flux basketball. So C-Rad, let me before you defend Flux basketball, Mosaic baseball.
Okay. All right. Mosaic baseball is the most disappointing. It's also the worst product literally of 2021.
Not afraid to say it.
It's by far the worst product to be released in 2021. I don't know if I should go too ham on it because
before I as being the inventory controller guy, before you completely bash it.
Hey, I will say this: it's at the value it should be at. So you're getting good deals when you buy into these Mosaic breaks because they shouldn't be going for much based on how the product turned out. So,
jeez.
Yeah,
ouch.
You're. If you like, okay, first of all, if you like Mosaic baseball, that's fine. And like I said, it's at a price point where it could be a good value to you. You are getting shiny cards for significantly less than any other Topps Chrome type product, or even compared to other Panini Prism type products, right? But for me, the issue is that because Panini does come out with so many Prism type non-licensed baseball products, Mosaic for me is easily at the very bottom of the list. From the design standpoint, it's just so uninspired because it's literally they slapped the unlicensed players on the same design that they've been using on football and basketball for years. That's one issue. So uninspired. Two, being a non-licensed, you would assume Optic, which I love Optic baseball, by the way, Panini. Optic gives you so many numbered parallels that makes that product worthwhile to rip and collect. Whereas in Mosaic, they're giving you one numbered card a box out of 300 cards that you get in the box. And then it's all base autos too, which is pretty Mosaic standard actually. If you rip Mosaic basketball or Mosaic football, it's hard to get a numbered card, which I like that aspect because it makes it a little bit more rare. But again, because this is a non-licensed product and an Optic gives you so many different colors and parallels of autographs in every box, that's what I'm comparing it to. So Mosaic for me can go and be the worst product of 2021.
I I agree, and then I'll jump into mine. But I agree because with Panini Baseball, there's only so many of the shiny products you can release, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta rank them. You have Prism, you have Optic, you have Select, you have Mosaic. At what point are you like, was Mosaic necessary? Probably not. But
So
you know,
unnecessary.
you do you. I've always said it before. Like, one brand doesn't have to be a part of every sport. You don't have to make Mosaic everything. Sometimes it'll work for football. It'll work for basketball. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for baseball or work for soccer or work for UFC. We need to get over that hump, and you know, manufacturers been doing that forever, and you know, you have to test the waters to learn, and maybe with what you said, they'll stop doing it. Maybe you're convincing everybody at the manufacturers that Mosaic baseball is not a go.
For the love of God.
Yeah.
And also, just leave it in Chronicles. It was fine as a Chronicles product.
And that's the thing, right? Like, you can put it as an insert base card in Chronicles, and that is I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to go right into Panini Flux basketball and say the same exact thing. Leave it in Chronicles. The design is not something that can be a standalone product. And that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the fact that, like, we had so many 2020, 2021 basketball releases. We did not need a standalone Flux when it very well did really well in Chronicles as an insert. And that's pretty much it. Not saying it's a worse product. Maybe the most uneventful and maybe not needed in the category. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Most unnecessary product of 2021.
I'll give you that. But I got to defend Flux, because I've ripped a ton of it, and I love that product more than I ever thought I would.
You may have ripped more Flux than anybody in the country.
Yeah.
So
the one. Okay, I'll give you that. It's so unnecessary. They did not need to make a Flux product.
And a first off the line version of it.
And although that first off the line version is awesome.
Oh.
We got some available for personal
So,
boxes if anyone wants them.
I think when you're looking at disappointing, I would probably give if you're talking about a product that's spawned off from Chronicles, I would say Recon is worse than Flux.
Yep.
Well, they kind of just blended in.
Yeah.
Again,
it's in the same category.
Again, a very unnecessary standalone product.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
sure.
and again, no knock on the content, the autographs, the design, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just I feel it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And not the only one this year, but the one that really stood out to me was Flux.
Well, you know, like also, I don't know if you noticed this, but Panini had to replace some products in their line this year because there were some products that they weren't able to make. For example, in case basketball and in case football for that is no longer going to be a thing, right? Because the cost of grading, and then probably that was always like I felt like the product that they took the longest to put out because they had to wait for.
But couldn't they just release that with like an encased hit like they did
instead of a graded one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess technically they could. Yeah, but I think that would have took away the whole. Then it would have just been another all white border, lifeless product. I guess I don't know.
So we take away one product.
So they had to add something
and add multiple.
But I think Encase wasn't the only one. What else did they not come out with? You know how every year they'll try at least a couple of new SKUs of something.
But they're not though. And that's it's one thing if we were to find like
completely brand
new, but like we are taking a product that's already designed in Chronicles and then just being like, I like it so much, I'm going to make it its own product.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to come up with a completely new like product design, completely new name, everything new about it.
Yeah.
New chase, all that. But we didn't do that with Recon. We didn't do that with Flux.
Yeah.
I mean, does Majestic come out? We bring back Majestic basketball?
Yeah. Probably next year. I would imagine at some point we're going to see all of the Chronicle inserts as its own
Momentum
design.
basketball?
All of it? Yeah. That's
no.
Yeah. There's just
I liked. I think it was 12-13 momentum.
I like cornerstones when that was the thing.
Are we gonna bring back Elite Series like the clear, the single pack clear acetate box?
Yeah. I could see them doing that.
I didn't get mentioned on here, but yeah, if we're talking basketball, speaking, you just reminded me of the clear acetate. Clearly Donruss for another year in a row. Just
that would have been my pick if we were
just didn't
talking
hit.
about different sports. Clearly Donruss would have been
For 1920, I really liked that product.
Yeah.
and that was the debut year.
That was the
first
debut.
year.
And to make it worse, there was it kind of reminded me of the confusion with Top Series 1 earlier last year, where it was like a 1-of-1 Trout reprint through the years card or whatever it was. So people were thinking, and there were times where I pulled a Luka rated rookie. Like, hey, it's a rookie Luka. And then like in the very fine print, it's like reprint of Luka. And it's like, that's going to definitely, if you're not as into collecting, you're not keen on that. That's
it's
gonna
one
confuse
thing.
you.
It's one thing to be doing that with a release that was like 20 years ago.
Right.
But
Right.
you're doing it with like
It's too recent.
It's a reprint of a product that we made a year ago.
Right. That's where I was like, this is it's like it's one thing if I was pulling Shaq's rookie.
I mean, I get it. Like a year in the hobby is like a decade.
Right.
So yeah, a year. Yeah, you might as well reprint it. But I mean, it seems ridiculous to like pay tribute to a card that you just made.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was what, 2-3-year-old card at the
It's like,
time?
let's
if that.
just make Luka rookie. Like Luka was so good that maybe we'll just make Luka rookies for
It was a little much.
5 years.
It was a little much. My pick is, and this before anyone says, "Man, this isn't really fair that you're throwing this product under the bus," because there are baseball products that are worse by a lot, and this is
Mosaic.
a signature. There you go, Mosaic, and this is a signature release for Topps every year, which is why I didn't want to call it the worst. It's just disappointing. That's Topps Chrome.
You got most disappointing. That's fair.
Topps Chrome, and I think that's a byproduct of a rookie class that I think there was a lot of high hope. Wow, there's so many guys in here. There's so many good rookies. Joe Waddell, Alec Bohm, Dylan Carlson. All these guys are really big, and they could be great. And nobody really jumped off the page this year. And, in fact, the two rookies of the year this year, one guy was a rookie in 2020 products, Randy Rosarena. Another guy is going to be a rookie. Maybe he was an update, Jonathan India. If not, he'll be a rookie in Series 1.
Yeah, I feel like India's been in the league for a while.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes to hype in baseball, it's about the home runs.
Yeah.
It's about the long home runs. And I mean, a Rosarena can hit home runs.
Yeah, there was hype around him.
India is a leadoff guy. He doesn't really hit a lot of home runs. Great ball player.
Yeah.
But not going to put up, 40, 50 home runs.
So
like we were looking at with, previous years with like
we're getting Pete Alonso in there
Alonso
with a rookie
and Robert and Eloy Jimenez and like all these power hitters. And I thought Joe Adele could have been that guy. But he just, and I think he's still going to be good, but he just didn't put it together.
This is a product that maybe in 5 years, it looks way, way better than it does right now. But right now, it's just, again, it's a byproduct of a rookie class, but also just, I felt like every time you're pulling stuff from it, it lost steam really, really fast because I think people realized they weren't going to get the autos they want out of it. The few autos that they do want out of it weren't even shown. I feel like I haven't seen a few of these ever.
And you can probably attest to this. It felt like a lot of the same auto subjects would follow each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were getting like
at one point I was like,
two
how many
or three of the same players in like a case. So.
There was a certain point I'm like, okay, the Astros can't have 37 rookie pitchers. Like that can't be possible. And it felt like that sometimes. Yeah. So, yeah, just overall a disappointment. The checklist was almost too big for its own good. Next year's going to be way better, just based on Wander Franco alone. But who knows? Maybe Wander gets hurt and it'll lose its steam as well. Fingers crossed. I still like a lot of guys in that rookie class. Jazz Chisholm I like a lot.
And we don't know what the products are going to look like next year. We don't know how they're going to be distributed next year. So like there's a lot of like what ifs going into next year with Fanatics taking over. I mean, they are going to be taking over the reins like soon, like if not already trying to work in their transition. Next year's Topps Chrome will have Fanatics' name on it somewhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So there's that as well, that you could say it's the last official Topps Chrome if you want to go.
So you should go buy all of it.
So,
So
yeah.
maybe it's not the most disappointing
Maybe
product.
it's not. Maybe this is actually like, again, in 3-4 years from now, someone's gonna watch this and go, "You idiot! Alec Boehm is the 2-time MVP
I know.
now."
I do know baseball collectors that are prospecting on this product and putting it away.
Yeah,
and holding on to it.
that's what I did. I have a box just sitting on the shelf
So-
somewhere. So
You know what product nobody's prospecting with? Mosaic baseball.
no, they're not. And don't think this is us dunking on like Panini baseball. Like I like a lot of stuff from Panini.
No,
baseball.
I'm not dunking on
No,
Panini
no, no.
base. I'm
No,
dunking
no.
on Mosaic,
Mosaic
baseball. It
Let it
Got
be
like
clear.
got like 8 cases and like
it's
got like 4 cases of the fast pitch version of it.
it's literally
Got some first off the line of it. I mean, I like it. I'm not
It's let's put it this way. Topps
I
Pro
like it.
baseball still miles better. You're right.
yeah.
All right, more bad stuff before we move on. The worst autographs of 2021. These are a few that were chosen in the comment section. We did a contest a few weeks ago asking for the worst autographs. I just want to say, maybe we've already said it, but we record a lot of these, so sometimes you forget. The guy who was mentioned the most for worst autograph was LaMelo Ball. Not even close to the worst autograph, guys. It's not like amazing.
You know what?
But it's just the controversy. That's what they're thinking.
It's the high
–
profile
Yes.
of the market value of his cards, right?
Yes.
Easy target, right? Look, he doesn't have Johnny Manziel's auto. Like
No.
guaranteed. Like Johnny
who
Manziel had
does?
great
Yeah,
auto, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Great penmanship. But look what Johnny Manziel cards go for now. So penmanship it matters a little bit, but like performance I think matters even more.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a guy on there that you have on that slide that is one of the worst I've ever seen in my 11 years of
So
being in the industry.
here's a few that were mentioned in the comments a few weeks back. We've got Franiel Baez, which the FB, sometimes just the 2 initials is a little like, all right.
We've seen that before.
But
It's not that bad, though.
He
Could
didn't
be
even
worse.
he didn't even get it on the shaded area.
He didn't. That's always the part
Like,
that
it's
that
one
bothers.
it's one thing to have like a tiny auto and just initials, but you couldn't even get it in the right spot.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Sadiq Bey was mentioned, and I had forgotten what that auto looked like. If you're just watching, there's one little squiggly line and a straight line.
And a dot.
And a dot. Thank you. We got to give him credit for the dot.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not very good. But my pick is the one right in the middle. Sam Ellinger, whose auto, I'm convinced, I think we were talking before, Dan, his auto shrunk as the year went on. And by the time it's in contenders,
I think
you will need a magnifying glass
I
to
think
see
at
it.
one point he got tired and just grabbed a couple pens and just did this.
It's bad. It's not just even that. It's like, because you could see he's writing, but it's like you're doing more effort to write teensy tiny 1-inch letters than to do, like, why? Like, at least make it big. It's awful.
Tough,
Terrible.
very tough. Jonathan Kuminga,
Yep, that's a new addition.
his auto has changed and not for the better.
No.
He is JK.
Are we sure that he didn't go JK and then the full autos that we were seeing? in
Nah, I
hoops?
think he's JK now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think we're getting a lot of JKs in NT 2021,
Hey man,
22.
again, nobody likes the initial auto. Like obviously, I'm not a fan at all. But compared to like some of these guys that were like, they're making little squigglies that you don't like. What are they doing? Are they drawing or?
Dude,
I'll take a JK.
Oh man, I disagree. I will take a squiggly.
You would take that over the JK?
I'll do not that.
I'm talking about
I'll-
this, dude.
I would take the Sadiq Bey little squiggly
yeah.
over like
there's a little bit of effort
over the like the FB or the JK.
I'm talking about the guys that type and you don't have a slide for this, but my vote for the last 3-4 months has actually been Jalen Darden. Now Jalen Darden he's a curious case because just like Jonathan Kuminga, sort of, there's products where he has like a full auto, and then all the sticker autos are bad, like the Sam Mellinger. But anything that's on card, he like took his time to like actually write out his full name.
I wonder.
Darden is bad. Go look it up, guys.
I don't know the. I don't know how they did it with the Pandy. I mean, definitely getting these autographs tough, and to get them in person probably almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the on card stuff may still be in person. Maybe there's a little bit added pressure of somebody watching you signing these cards on card as opposed to here's your sticker book and get it done at your earliest convenience and send it back to us. Well, if there's nobody watching you, you're going to get the was it Sam Ellinger?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get, no, there's no way that somebody was watching him going, yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, that looks like let me, like, I could almost guarantee you if we were to see like a credit card like receipt from him, I don't think he would sign it that way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And you know what I'm curious about is that a lot of players are actually worse on the sticker, like you were just saying, like with the Sam Ellinger. But some players are better on the sticker, like the Jonathan Kuminga. Like his stickers are dope, dude. Like that full signature, I was like, that looks nice. Like why couldn't we get that on card?
Or you get to a point where after, say, he started with the stickers, got through that, and was like, okay, well now you have like a couple thousand cards you got to do, and he's like,
whoops,
I'm gonna shorten my auto, like, and
it's what you saw with Melo. I really believe.
Like I'm gonna shorten my auto. Sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got practices, you've got training schedules. I feel like I always hear the NBA, you've got nap schedules, very important nap schedules.
I mean, and when you start, like the novelty is probably pretty cool, right? You're like, man, like I'm taking my time on, and you get through the first 2,000 of those, and you're like, the novelty is over. Like you're done. Like I'm over it. This was cool 4 hours ago. Not cool anymore. I want to do something else. So now it's like, whatever I got to do to get through these.
Yeah, there's a reason you don't see Michael Jordan's autograph everywhere in products in 2021 and 22. The man signed a lot of things in his life.
You know, let's not hate on it too much. Having these guaranteed autos in the products are key to prevent us from going into mass production.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If we stop having these guaranteed autos per box, then what stops a manufacturer from just like running the presses and just making, the junk wax era of like the late 80s, early 90s all over again?
Yep. And I'm hopeful too that Fanatics, with their strengthened relationships because of the NFL and NBA and MLBPA sharing and the players getting a slice of the pie, that they'll be able to keep getting more autos from the kids. Not necessarily like, obviously I don't want a ton of autos, but like enough to like where, like you said, there's not overprinting on products.
When we talk about penmanship, it's one of those topics that everybody wants to jump in and have an opinion about, and it's a great topic for debate. Like we can sit here, we can kind of analyze it, make fun of it. It makes for good content. For me personally, it doesn't affect me wanting to collect a certain player. If I like the team, or I like how they perform and all that stuff, their penmanship is not going to turn me off from collecting their cards.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And
it's always about what they do on the field, on the court.
And I might be disappointed and be like, oh man, I really was hoping my PC player would have a better penmanship, but it's not going to deter me from buying the cards.
Exactly. It's a nice incentive, but ultimately, who cares? It'll wait. We're just having fun.
It makes for good content. It makes for everybody likes having an opinion. My penmanship, terrible.
I was gonna say
everybody is aware of this. If you bought one of our Pack Paloozas and you were lucky enough to get one of my autos, My auto's terrible. I have a terrible auto. But I will tell you,
The people are judging our autos going, wait a minute. These guys
it is
can't be
100% consistent on everything. I mean, I'll show you my ID. I'll sign something in person for you. Like, it's consistent. Like, that truly is my auto, but it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'd be on the list. I don't think I'd be in the top 3.
I thought about it.
But
I was trying to be nice.
it would be funny if you put my auto up there.
Wouldn't be that vain. Yeah, no, it's all in good fun, but ultimately I just ask, please don't make me have to squint my eyes. That's really all I ask. Just let me at least see, like, is this a printing error or is this actually an autograph?
Have you seen Jalen Darden's auto?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Okay.
It is not a good auto. So.
And I know I'm missing a guy. There's got to be at least one other.
There is one. I mean, all these are great, and we've done probably this topic for 10 years. Like this is a reoccurring topic that we have.
Yep.
Fernand Morency, the worst auto in history. It's a check mark.
Yeah, anyone does the check or the X.
It is actually, you look at it, it is 100. We actually bought one at one point just to have it. It is a check mark.
Wow.
The check or the X.
That's like the 1920 rookie Cam Reddish towards the end of the year. His auto was just a line across the sticker.
That was rough.
One of the worst.
That's bad. That one's rough. That one is rough. Yeah.
You know what? For 2022 at the end of the year, let's do worst auto of the decade.
Worst of the decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's probably that guy you're talking about.
We'll do some research, but yeah, Reddish is right up there, or check mark. Mr. Check mark. Definitely.
He doesn't even have like a full check mark though.
It's not even a full check mark.
It is.
Sometimes it'll just be a line.
It's a line. Like, he literally like that.
Yeesh.
Thanks, Ken.
No. Come on. Do better. Let's do better. All right. Final topic. We're running a little short on time. We talked a lot of NFL, so let's dive into the NBA. We're in the mid-season of the NBA. Can you even believe that we're at the mid-season point, halfway point of the NBA season? So let's play a little buy, sell, or hold with some of the most notable players, both good and bad, in the NBA right now. Starting with a guy we talked about at the beginning of the show, Ja Morant. He has won the back-to-back NBA Player of the Week. As of this recording, Grizzlies have won 10 games in a row. They're, I believe, 4th in the Western Conference right now. He is 8th in player efficiency rating, if you want to go into the deep stats. I was looking up his silver PSA 10 prisms, floating around the 2K mark, 2,000 mark right now. Is that a buy, sell, or a hold for you?
Ooh, I think I'm holding Ja. I'm gonna hold him.
Yeah.
He might end up this year transcending into like a top 5 player in the league.
Yeah, I think he's firmly in the MVP conversation right now.
So I mean, and he might be a top 5 player for the next decade.
Yeah.
So I think I'm holding.
Yeah, and we get a close up look at him because, like we were talking about earlier in the episode, they're kind of like the kryptonite to the Warriors right now. And so we get a good look at how Ja plays against us, and he obviously gives maximum effort every night, but it feels like he gives extra maximum effort when he plays against us because he's just balling out there. So for me, I'm buying Ja Morant at that price because I know Zion is still like $1,000 more, give or take.
It's crazy.
So I think he's gonna catch up to Zion at some point in terms of pricing. Unless, of course, we know like Zion hasn't played in a while. Unless he comes back and really looks incredible himself, I think Ja has space to catch up to Zion prices.
It blows my mind that his market hasn't caught up or surpassed Zion.
Makes
like
no sense to me.
Look at what he is doing, and look at what Zion is doing, and try to wrap your head around that.
Yeah, one's the Rookie of the Year. He's been to the playoffs, beat the Warriors in a playing game. He's on a roll right now.
And going to be in the conversation, like you said, for MVP.
Yep.
And the other guy has played a quarter of the games he could have played in his whole career.
Yeah. Now, granted, when he's healthy, he looks like he proves why.
But you get to a point where you have so many injuries, right?
It doesn't matter.
When he gets back, he is not going to be the same player that he was before. I mean, granted, he's young, but your body can only take so much.
Yeah. And I think for Ja's favor, why I think he's a hold right now, and frankly a buy as well. I'm going to say buy, and if you got him, hold him. That I think it's way more likely Ja Morant plays a long time with the Memphis Grizzlies. They've built that team around him. I'd say Desmond Bane, I think, is a really good pick right now from last year's rookie class.
Hey man, can I just say?
Yeah.
They've been on this 10 win streak. Part of that also, you got to give credit to my boy Brandon Clark, baby. When he came back, that's when they started going on their 10-win streak.
Part of the core. Part of that core they built around Ja. Or that Ja entered into. So,
yeah. No, Grizzlies are going to be good. I mean, they're definitely building the team the right way. They're doing it through the draft, kind of the way the Warriors did it.
Yeah, really good team. Scary team
15 years ago.
Yeah. Next guy I want to talk about, DeMar DeRozan. Bulls are in first place in the Eastern Conference right now. And it's Zach LaVine's been great. They have a good core there, but it's DeRozan. DeRozan's playing the best season he's probably ever had. He's 7th in the league in points per game right now. The one thing I think maybe that his value in the secondary market is affected by, same rookie class as Steph Curry, James Harden, I believe, right? 09-10. So
Blake Griffin.
Yeah, but a lot of guys. A lot of guys. But nonetheless, his PSA 10 tops Chrome is going around 1,000 to 1.8K. Buy, sell, or hold on DeMar DeRozan, who's 33,
How much?
years old? 1,000 on the low end, and
that's the Chrome refractor or just the Chrome?
I think there was just the base.
Okay.
Yeah.
PSA 10 Chrome.
PSA 10.
Yeah, I'm selling that.
Yeah. He's late enough in his career that's like, this is probably as good as it gets.
Yeah,
I can't. And he's having a great season and good for him.
I don't think. I mean, is he going to win the MVP? Are the Bulls going to win the title? Probably not. If you can get $1,100 for a DeRozan that you probably could have bought for like $200, $300, $400 at one point.
Yeah, when he was with the Spurs, probably.
Yeah, I think I'm selling.
Okay. I know, and I've seen this on social media. A lot of people are buying him right now, okay?
Yeah.
So I think if you're buying him, this is for a kind of like a short flip situation. You know, I think it would be amazing if the Bulls made a run in the playoffs, and if he was able to get – I don't think they could probably win the finals, but if they can at least get to the finals, which is a possibility in the East, I think there's a chance, however small. I think it'll be amazing for him, amazing story for him and his career, because especially with the Raptors essentially giving up on him for Kawhi Leonard, you know what I mean? And then like him not being part of that run to their championship run. I think for him and his story, it'd be amazing, and that'll be a boost to his cards for real if they could at least get to the finals. So in a short-term flip situation, I would say buy. Otherwise, if you've been holding on to DeMar for years and years and years, and he's not going to be just part of your PC forever, I would sell right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you had him in your PC, and he had those games where he went back-to-back nights with the game winners, that would have been like time to sell. But yeah, he's having a great year. It's a great story, and it's great to see the Bulls doing well again. I think the NBA is always better when the Bulls are doing well.
LaVine showing out, showing that he's one of the better 2014 rookies too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to like about that team. It's a great story. It's one I don't think I would have ever suspected we'd be talking about midway through this season.
Well, I think to start the season, especially when they got Lonzo, right? People were really
thought they'd be good.
Yeah, people were taking them seriously, like they were going to be a pretty good team in the East. But the top team in the East, that's probably a little surprising.
Yeah, top team in the East. And if you had asked me, okay, DeMar DeRozan is going to be a nice secondary piece to Zach LaVine is really what I thought. But it's been DeRozan's team, which is pretty remarkable. So, but I think probably the short term is definitely the way to go with him. How about Trae Young? Hawks are the 12th seed right now.
I know what Dan's going to say.
17 and 22. They're not doing that well. They're just they're hanging around.
They barely got in last year, and then they made a heck of a run.
Trae, it should be mentioned, it's not because of Trae Young.
Never is. Probably the best player in the East right now, besides Kevin Durant.
He's one of the most efficient players in the league still. He's 4th in the league in scoring. Surprisingly, his value, his Silver Prism PSA 10 is floating around the same value as around a Ja Morant right now. They're pretty low.
We're on 2K?
Compared to what I've seen. Yeah, about 2,000, a little more than him, probably on the higher end. But I'm actually a little surprised to have seen it dip to that level. So is that a pretty easy buy at this point for Trae Young?
That's a buy. That is why you buy 18-19 product. You don't buy it for Luka. You buy it for Trae Young.
Ooh. I didn't even throw Luka on there, by the way. He's just been hurt too much.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
That guy right there.
Are we selling Luka? Is that where we're at?
No.
No.
I'll say. I mean, at that.
Yeah. I think I am.
Damn. All right.
At whatever price Trae is at right now, I guess I would still hold him. You know, he's still got a lot of potential there.
Mortgage the house. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Liquidate that Bitcoin. Get those trays.
Get all the trays possible. Yeah, I feel like he's still a hold. Like the Hawks are.
I
feel like they're close to a run.
And I
here.
think they're getting Hunter back.
Yeah.
Which he made a huge difference in their playoff run.
Yeah. They've lost a lot of close games this year too. I feel like they've been involved in so many nail biters.
He might be the best pure scorer going right now. He just put up 55.
Yeah.
Like the guy, I think he put up 55 or more in like back-to-back games or something. Like his stats are ridiculous. Like, I mean, I know the offense is running through him, but I don't know. What is it about him? Like, why do people not like him?
I think it's really the Luka thing.
He's the villain now.
Well, there's that. There's the Knicks thing, which to me that only elevates him in my mind. The fact that he has become this villain to New York Knicks fan. But I really think it's the Luka thing. That it's Luka and Trey and Luka. They'll always be connected. But kind of, I mean, Luka when he's on is one of the best in the league. But there's not. I think people in there, especially in the hobby, I think there's a lot more separating these two in their mind than there is in reality.
You look at how Steph's career started with the Warriors. They had to build a team around him. It wasn't like overnight success. When they got him, they had Monte Ellis. They were like, why did you draft another guy who basically does the same thing as the guy, the all-star that you already have? I think Trae Young is kind of on that same path as Steph Curry. And if his card values end up being half of what Steph Curry is right now, I mean, he has to be a buy. Yeah. Granted, they made a lot more 18-19 product than they made 09-10 product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Last couple ones. Joel Embiid, I feel like I bring him up a lot whenever there's like undervalued NBA guys, but like the stats, he's now at a point now, he's been healthy for 2 straight years. He's now doesn't have Ben Simmons playing. He's still
where's Ben Simmons?
Yeah, he's
Do we even know?
No one knows.
Just
nobody knows. Sixers, just trade him already. I saw something that was like the deals have been for like Sabonis has been thrown at them. I want to say De'Aaron Fox. I thought there was something there.
Trade him for like, I don't know, 12 basketballs.
It just doesn't matter
anymore.
Like, the best thing they need to do is like, even if they can get like, I know they're like hanging on like, oh, we have to get a superstar guy. It's like, you're not gonna get that anymore.
Get a draft pick and have the team take some of that contract.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about what you're going to get back.
You're not getting the superstar anymore.
You are. What is he doing for you?
Nothing.
He actually, if anything, he's more of a distraction. He's making your team worse by being there because everybody is questioning, why is this talented player not on the basketball court?
But if this team got another option for Embiid, who has been the 3rd most efficient player in basketball behind only Nikola Jokic and Giannis, he's 5th in scoring. Sixers are 5th in the East as of this recording. His PSA 10 silver prisms are going between about 1.7 thousand to 2,000. Variations going for about $500 to $300 at PSA 10. So I feel like he's a really easy buy, especially if you get him somebody. I know it's big man, all that.
He's a big man though. Yeah. Like that. It's where you look at like him and you look at like the value of Tim Duncan.
Right.
Tim Duncan, for what he accomplished, his value should be a lot higher than it is. Yeah. Yep. I put Embiid right in there. Like it just isn't flashy enough. He puts up amazing stats. He helps his team win games. He's a great player, one of the best in the league. But when it comes to the card market, it just doesn't translate because of the player he is.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think, C-Rad? Buy and selling?
Embiid? I'm holding. I'm holding Embiid. I think he's going to come close to playing for some championships eventually, you know what I mean? And that's really when you want to start look at maybe offloading him. But right now, if I have Embiid, I'm holding. I don't know if I'm necessarily buying though. That's the thing. Like Dan was alluding to. It's how high can he get? I think there is room to grow, but how high can that possibly be?
I don't know.
I'm on the fence about that.
And back to Ben. Does Ben Simmons play basketball this year?
I think he does. I think the Sixers at some point. I mean,
do you think they trade him to like a Utah or Denver or a team that like is already really good on the cusp and not like just having Simmons as like an extra piece that they can put in there?
I don't even think they care at this point. They're just going to go the best deal. If that's Denver, where he gets to go instantly into a situation where he can win and improve a contender, great for him. But they're not going to care if they just shove him off to Indiana and he just, tolls away.
There. Goes Indiana, he automatically best pacer ever to do it.
Forget about that.
The greatest pacer of all time.
Ben Simmons.
Easily.
The greatest of all time. Next to Lance Stevenson. Did you see I think he was on the team because they were just out of players. They re-signed him.
I saw that.
Scored 20 in the first quarter.
That's crazy.
Pretty incredible. And then played, I think, like only a few more minutes the rest of the game. Pretty great.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Right? There was somebody else who came out who hadn't played for a long time and was like, hey, like, hook me up. Might have been who it was. What's his name? The guy who tried to call the timeout in the finals against the Warriors for the Cavaliers.
JR.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, he's all, let me back. He's all, I'm ready.
Eric Weedle and Lance Stevenson are back.
It's
2022. We're talking about these guys.
Yeah, I know it's pretty interesting to see all these players back because of the the shortened rosters. But I was making a joke on stream the other day. I was like, I'm sure Ice Cube somewhere like, hey, man, why y'all taking all our players, bro?
Oh, God. All right, last one. Knicks, I don't want to say they stink again, but they're not doing as well as they were last year. Part of that, I threw out Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett, but let's really just focus on R.J. Barrett. A lot of hype. He was kind of the third guy in the rookie class from a couple years ago. Had a nice year last year. All of his point totals are down. His percentage totals are way down. He's a minus 3.5 on the court. Knicks are 20-21 outside of the playoffs. How are we feeling about R.J. Barrett? Buying, selling, or holding?
I know you can go back to the archives. I was high on this guy. I was buy. I thought he was extremely undervalued his rookie season.
Yeah.
And I thought the Knicks were getting good. I thought they were turning that corner. They had some young talent on that team.
They looked good last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm holding R.J. Barrett right now.
Yeah.
Me personally, because what you're saying, like the stats are down. That's true across the board for everybody that's on the Knicks right now.
Everybody.
So,
I mean, Randall is the one who was hit the hardest.
Randall and RJ, I personally would probably be selling them right now.
Yeah. Randall is one. I would be selling just because I didn't mention him, but he went from last year averaging 24.1 points per game. He's averaging 19 points a game now, so pretty big drop off for him.
He was having a great. I mean, you could put him in a conversation of being MVP last year.
Yeah.
But I think type of year.
I think the story's different for Barrett. He's young enough that I think he can get out of this. I think he just had a 30-point game the other night, his best game of the season. And yeah, if you can find him for way below market value, I actually think he might be a sneaky buy.
I mean, he was the third pick overall.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Second pick.
Yeah, I mean he was the he was the next guy after the John Zion for sure.
I'm just the reason I'm selling him. I'm just afraid that his value will continue to drop, and then at that point, because we've seen it with these guys that are not the first pick. You know what I mean? The first, second pick. Unless they start to show like they're gonna be like a real impact superstar level player, their prices will keep declining as the years go on.
Yeah, I think best case for him is if basically his best case is he's the second guy in that draft now because Ja's the guy, and then it also has to count on Zion just keeps getting hurt and just never comes to fruition.
This is the crazy part that I'm gonna say. If Zion still sits out another year or two, his prices will still be higher than RJ Barrett.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you think
because it's what we don't know? It's the mystery.
Think there's anything with Zion that he might be unhappy playing for New Orleans, and
I think that plays a huge
and maybe
too.
The sense of urgency to get back isn't there. It's like I don't like maybe Maybe
I wouldn't go that far.
maybe he'd like to go play for the Lakers.
The Warriors.
He's not going to be a Pelican for the rest of his career. In fact, the Knicks is probably where he might end up.
I mean, there might be a rookie team option on his contract because he was such a high pick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans decline that and go, you can be a free agent. You could just go.
Boy, that team. I feel like that team has had nothing go right for them ever since they became the Pelicans. What, now almost a decade ago? Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, we've seen it with a lot of teams in the NBA, like the Timberwolves. Like, what do you do to change the culture of a team that's lost for so long? The Warriors did it it felt like 20 years. The Warriors were like the basement team every year.
The answer is ownership.
And
ownership?
The Warriors needed new ownership.
And it takes one player.
New GM, a whole different culture to build a winner. It's almost like all those teams just need to start from the top, ownership level, and just completely rebuild the culture of the team. Because how long can you go being just the bottom of the barrel of a conference?
Well,
put the Kings in there too.
Yeah.
The Kings, I mean, when's the last time they made the playoffs? When's the last time they were like a relevant team? Chris Webber and Mike Bibby?
Yep.
Yeah.
Easily.
But I mean that's a whole different conversation, and I think with some owners they don't care that they know they're gonna just suck for the end of time, but they enjoy the owning an NBA team.
Get those TV rights, and you get just enough people in the seats to make it.
That's what happens, right? You got 30 teams, 30 owners. Some of them don't value winning. Some of them just value profit, right?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's all about that money. RJ and Julius Randle to New Orleans for Zion. Who says no? New Orleans should say no, but
I would if I'm New Orleans. Because I mean, what are those guys going to do for you?
Nothing. Zion could bring a healthy Zion with a nice supporting cast.
A healthy Zion at least gets people excited to go to the game.
Yeah. Yep.
A healthy Julius Randle and RJ Barrett not going to get people in the seats.
No,
but
unfortunately,
being a New York Knick gets people in the seats.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. I think that's going to wrap things up for this week. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. Episode 222 of The Hype is a wrap. And, of course, go over to Mojobreak.com. Check out our schedule for live breaks. By the way, Packpalooza Volume 3 drops Thursday. If you're listening to this late Wednesday night or you're listening to this early Thursday morning, Thursday, January 13th, that's when we're dropping Packpalooza Volume 3. Go check it out, Mojobreak.com. Tons of incredible stuff in it. Buybacks, one-of-ones, tons and tons of stuff, and a chance to win an 03-04 Topps Chrome basketball pack. We pulled a Kobe. I think we pulled a Kobe refractor from the first one we pulled, so that was pretty sweet. Still some big rookies in there. Of course, go to MojobreakShop.com for any sealed wax, and make sure to like this video, subscribe to Mojobreak Media. We will see you for episode 223.
And before we go, R.I.P. the great Bob Saget.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Bob Saget.
Wow, that was a tough one.
That was tough, man. Thank you for the shout out on episode 200.
Yeah,
absolutely, and that cameo, I'm glad we have a backed up version of it, because if you go on Cameo, you cannot see any of the archive videos anymore.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
R.I.P. Bob Saget, Bay Area, Danny Tanner, Bay Area legend.
yeah, America's dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
R.I.P.
We'll leave it at that. Have a good one, guys. See you next week.